Have you ever ended a long day feeling heavier than when you started it? Body tired and spirit weighed down by hours spent sitting, staring at screens, or rushing through tasks without a moment to breathe? We live in a world that celebrates productivity over presence, efficiency over exploration, and yet something essential slips away each time we neglect the simple act of moving our bodies. Somewhere between back-to-back meetings and endless notifications, we've lost touch with a truth quietly practiced by creatures across the globe. Movement is not merely a way to get from point A to point B, but a vital source of resilience, clarity, and connection. When animals roam, stretch, and fly, they are not simply surviving, they are thriving. And in their rhythms, we find an invitation to reclaim our own vitality. Imagine vast herds of wild horses galloping across open plains, their manes ablaze in the sunset, each powerful stride a testament to endurance and freedom. Picture a house cat arching its back in that luxurious morning stretch, a simple ritual of agility and renewal before the day's hunt or nap begins. Visualize flocks of birds ascending in perfect formation, wing beats carrying them thousands of miles across continents, guided by instinct and the fresh wind under their wings. Today, we'll journey alongside these three teachers, the wild horse, the domestic cat, and the migratory bird, and discover how their innate love of movement sustains them. We'll see how every hoofbeat, every stretch, and every wing beat can inspire us to move more, not as a chore, but as a celebration of life, unlocking energy, presence, and a deeper sense of belonging in the world around us. Wild horses. Endurance in every gallop. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a broad, rolling prairie under a sky so vast it feels like a promise. Across that open expanse, a band of wild horses lifts their heads, nostrils flaring as they catch the crisp wind. With a sudden, unified motion, they break into a full gallop, their hooves drumming a steady rhythm on the earth, hearts pumping in perfect unison, muscles flexing and releasing in waves of pure power. These horses travel miles each day, not to escape something, but to seek the fresh grasses, the hidden springs, and the ever-changing horizon. Their bodies are designed for endurance, lungs expanding to fill with cooling air, tendons storing and releasing energy like coiled springs, hooves carving out paths that become roads for future generations. Movement is not an afterthought, but the very essence of their liberty and well-being. In our own lives, endurance often feels like a test of willpower, pushing through fatigue to meet deadlines, to check another box to prove we can go just 1 mile farther. But the wild horse shows us endurance as a kind of celebration, a way of aligning body and spirit in motion, trusting that every step renews us rather than depletes us. The next time you feel weighed down by the drag of routine, remember those horses racing the wind. Step outside, loosen your shoulders, and let your feet find their own rhythm. Even a brisk walk around the block can awaken the same deep sense of possibility that carries a herd across the plains. Cats, the art of graceful renewal. Now, shift your scene to a quiet household where a solitary cat stretches out before dawn's first light. With an elegant arch of its spine, the cat raises its chest to the sky, elongating every sinew and tendon in one fluid, unhurried motion. It rolls onto its back, extends each paw with measured precision, then rises again on silent paws, fully awake and ready for whatever the day might bring. This ritual of stretching is not merely a way to wake up. It is a gesture of gratitude toward the body that will carry it through every stealthy, prowling, and playful pounce. Cats understand, instinctively, that flexibility of body translates into agility of mind, and that the simple act of elongating and contracting muscles can clear away the stiffness of yesterday's rest. For us, in our chairs and cars, stress often settles into tight shoulders, stiff hips, and tense jaws, physical echoes of mental strain. We forget that our bodies, like those of cats, crave moments of deliberate renewal. A few minutes spent opening the chest, rolling the shoulders, and stretching the spine can be as vital as any productivity tool, restoring circulation, calming the nervous system, and reminding us that we inhabit bodies made for movement. The next time you notice your shoulders creeping toward your ears, imagine that cat's ritual and take a pause. Reach your arms overhead, bend one leg behind you, twist gently from side to side. In each stretch, you invite renewed energy and creativity to flow through you, resetting your capacity to face the day with grace. Migratory birds, flight as freedom. Finally, imagine the warmth of spring air carrying the coos and calls of birds gathering on a wetland's edge. In perfect unison, they take off, wings slicing through air currents, bodies rising higher with each purposeful beat. Some will cross mountain ranges, deserts, oceans, guided by starlight and an ancient map etched into their very being. Their journey spans continents and seasons, a testament to flight as the ultimate expression of freedom and renewal. Migratory flight demands strength and rest in equal measure. Birds build reserves of energy, alternating bursts of wing beat with graceful glides that let the wind carry them forward. They navigate storms by seeking thermal columns, adapting their path to the rhythms of the air. In every ascent and descent, they display an exquisite balance between effort and ease. We, too, often long for escape from our own horizons, dreaming of vacations, career changes, or a sudden break from daily demands. Yet the birds teach us that freedom is not always found in removing ourselves entirely from our lives, but in weaving movement and rest into its fabric. When we take flight by exploring new perspectives, whether through a midday walk in nature, a weekend adventure, or simply looking out the window with fresh eyes, we tap into our own innate navigation systems, discovering currents of insight we might otherwise miss. The next time you long for a change of scenery, remember those birds in the sky. Even a brief moment spent gazing skyward, stretching your arms as though you might lift off, can reconnect you with that sense of boundless possibility that flight embodies. When we bring together the endurance of the wild horse, the graceful renewal of the cat, and the boundless freedom of migratory birds, a single, inviting message emerges. Movement is not a duty, but a living expression of who we are meant to be, resilient, flexible, and ever open to new horizons. Endurance teaches us that steady progress, aligned with purpose, carries us farther than bursts of frenzied effort. Graceful stretching reminds us that pausing to renew our bodies is as vital as any moment of action. And the flight of birds shows us that freedom, and the insights it brings, is found not by fleeing our lives, but by engaging with life through movement that balances effort with release. Take a moment now to feel your own body where it meets the world. Feet on the ground, breath filling your lungs, shoulders settling into the chair. Ask yourself, where in my day could I honor the wild horse's steady pace, choosing a path of endurance that feels aligned with my deepest goals? In what moments might I borrow the cat's ritual of stretching, carving out intentional pauses to renew my energy and creativity? When have I felt the longing for change, and how might I emulate the bird's flight by exploring fresh perspectives, small flights that open my mind to new possibilities without abandoning my roots? Let these questions settle in your awareness, softening any tension as you recognize that movement of body, mind, and spirit is your ally. So, the next time the day's weight pulls too heavy, when routines become ruts, or when your spirit craves the uplift of change, remember the horse, the cat, and the bird. Gallop with the horse in your chosen direction, trusting that each steady step carries you closer to your purpose. Stretch with the cat, renewing your body and clearing the way for fresh ideas. And when your heart yearns for freedom, take flight in your own small way, exploring new angles, new rhythms, new skies of possibility. In weaving their lessons into the tapestry of your life, you will not only move more, you will thrive more. You will find resilience in your daily steps, creativity in your stretches, and inspiration in every flight of imagination. Nature's teachers do not scold us for our stillness. They simply invite us to remember the wild wisdom of movement, patiently and gently. And if we are willing to step into their rhythm, we will discover that thriving is not a distant destination, but a journey carried forward on the wings, paws, and hooves of our own making. And they're still showing us the way, if we're ready to follow.